welcome back to another episode of the Road to 2200. We're in 1964. Our opponent is 1903. They're close to not making it in time. Let's see what happens. Apparently they're 1-0 against me. That's very interesting. Lichess tells you on the bottom. Oh, well, they're going to run out of time. Oh, they made it just in the nick of time. We're going to play another Sicilian. Let's do it. Let's see if we actually get an open Sicilian. We do not. No shocker there. This has been what I've been playing against the Alapin. I don't know the whole thing very well. And what's interesting is I had been pushing this pawn, but I realized, and this is the nice thing about getting better at an opening, is I can just play here. And we're basically going into the Caro-Kann advanced variation, which I know quite well, and that is not a normal move in that variation. So what is happening now? So I don't know if that is a normal move, a good move, a bad move. It's a move. If I was playing the advanced variation of the Caro-Kann, this would have happened. I would have taken, they would have taken, and then I probably would have pushed the E pawn. So they can't play e6. When white plays e6, it's quite annoying. What am I doing here? Am I playing e6? What if they play g4? And then I have to go back. And then they immediately play f5. I take, they take, I win the pawn. I'm going to play e6. And the idea is we're using this square to get pieces out. Yeah. Maybe it was better actually to play knight c6 first so that... Oh no, they could have still played d5. So he takes, and the queen is still backing it up. They have a move like this. If they do that, I think I just bring the bishop. Can they? Okay, they can't even make that move now. I'm going to just develop the knight. That seems reasonable. I can see myself playing d4 at some point. Maybe next. Maybe d4 is the next move. Maybe I should have already played d4. They take, I take. It's weird with our pawns. Okay, so they're coming over there. I think I'd probably play queen c7 here. I don't really see why I don't. Protecting the pawn. Okay, I'll play queen c7. Seems reasonable. Probably going to play the rook to c8. Will be doubled up on the c file. Maybe after I play d4, the c file pops open. I don't know. I guess it is important to note we're not protecting c5 with the queen. Doesn't matter for now. A move I'm looking at is knight a5. That move looks kind of interesting because I'm hitting the queen wherever the queen goes. I can just immediately jump into c4. The problem is it doesn't look like it's doing that much on c4. And then sort of the real question is if they play something like b3, where does the knight go? Yes, the knight can go back to b6. But we've wasted a few moves to put our knight on what I think looks like a worse square. Okay, so they've got the knight on a3. It sort of tells me they're not intending to play d4 soon. Oh, interesting, potentially clever idea. c4, attacking both of these pieces. I'm guessing, though, they would probably play knight a4, pinning the piece, and then I do not get much out of this. Okay, so I'm really trying to wrestle with now is what am I doing with these two pieces? I want to move them. Do I go here? And then maybe here? Don't want to move the bishop first. But where's it going? Not entirely sure. I think I'm going to put the knight here. This is a pretty... Okay, wait. Before I do that, what is... This knight to b5 move is actually kind of annoying. And it feels like almost the only reason to put it on a3. So while I do like the idea of being proactive and developing my pieces, the knight jumping into d6... I guess I could go here. Okay, no. Then they go here. I have to move my queen again. I think I'm just going to prevent them from making the move they want to move. Like, now their knight is just stuck on a3 and looks ridiculous. Unless their plan was to put it on c7 to maybe support d4 or something. But I think I have just impeded their plans and made my life a little easier. Also, b5, c4 gains a lot of space. In fact, b5, c4 means that queen cannot go to a4. Oh, I was not expecting that. Okay. So, interesting questions. If I move this pawn up, this square becomes weaker. Are they taking advantage of that? Does that look like it? I certainly don't want to take here. It just brings that knight into the game that I just shut out of the game, so I'm not doing that. And if I let them take, I guess I'm taking with the e-pawn. I don't really love how that looks either. I think I'm just going to push by and say, this is a pretty big space advantage. Like, we're going to try not to trade pieces if possible. This piece doesn't look good. This piece doesn't look good. This piece doesn't look like... Their pieces look bad. Our bishop looks pretty good. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable move, right? I said the piece looks bad. Our piece looks good. Well, let's trade it. I'm not thrilled about trading it. But if we can trade it in such a way that this knight lands here, that's not so bad. That's a trade I think I can get behind. I am not going to take them. I don't think there's any point in that. Their bishop's not really doing anything. So I'll go here. Defend the bishop. If they want to trade, sure. We can do that trade. I'm kind of wondering, is there a world where if they castle short, I actually castle long? Okay, so that did not work when the bishop was there, but now that the knight's there, that looks a lot more reasonable, right? If I go back, they can push, I take, they take, I take, I win a pawn, but they have this clear attack on the king side. But I don't know, maybe there's a world where I'm castling queen side. That's looking more and more reasonable to me. But I think I just move back. I don't really see another option there. I'm looking at maybe knight g6, attacking this square, attacking that square. So probably they would have to respond with something like d3, which seems fine. Okay, let's play d3 now. Yeah. So I still have some questions, like what am I doing with the bishop? What am I doing with my king? It feels like there's a lot of unanswered things happening in this position. Something like knight a5 looks interesting. First of all, they have the check on a4, and then I would just have to bring the knight back. But even if they just move their queen to a better square, I think I've just put my knight on a worse square. So I think I might just play knight g6, develop the bishop, and then I've got options. I kind of want to see where they're going to castle before I commit a lot. I don't want to really commit pushing pawns till I know where they're going to castle. I don't really know where my rooks are best suited. I have a lot of questions right now about where this game is even going. This is one of the things about, knowing opening theories. You know things like that, right? If it's an opening I know, I have a pretty darn good idea of where that king is being castled from the beginning. I have no idea. It certainly seems like they're going to castle queenside. Okay. So we decided that queen wasn't doing much over there. Fair enough. So if I go bishop f7, they push f5, I take, they take. I guess I'm taking on e5 with my knight. Okay. I kind of like this idea. It looks like I can even potentially put a piece here. Maybe bishop check, knight takes, knight takes. I've got that check coming. Another thing I'm looking at that looks like a really bad move. This is such a juicy square. Can I put a knight in there or no? I can. I have to move the bishop. It'd be slow, but it'd be worth it if I could just tuck a knight in there. Man, and now this bishop is like... I don't know. I don't like that move. I guess it's probably... I mean, first of all, it's stopping me from going to that square. I don't know. It just looks committal in a way that is not necessarily good. But I don't really know what to do with my pieces. What I'm kind of looking at now is I think I want my queen on this diagonal. That just looks pretty strong to me. This knight looks kind of irrelevant here. Also, I could just move the knight here. I'm pressuring this pawn and that pawn. Put my queen here. The problem is after this move, there's nowhere for the knight to go. So I'm not sure I want my knight all the way up there. They can also attack it with a bishop on d2. Then I have to take back with the c pawn. Do I want to do that? Also, am I actually getting anything out of queen c6? It optically looks fantastic. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is play bishop d7, knight. So we're gonna go like here, 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 with the option of putting the bishop there, because this bishop isn't doing anything. It's just a bad. The plan here basically is to put all my pieces on better squares. That's the plan. So this knight's gonna go here, this queen is gonna go here, and this bishop is gonna go there. I feel like the position is close enough that I can do that. I guess a worry is if I move the knight here, can they immediately play b4? Maybe. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to go here. It is sort of taking away the option to castle long. Also, I didn't really take seriously the idea of h5, which does seem like something that could come. I won't be surprised if what I end up doing is going like this with this knight, and then this knight backing it up, so that when this knight tries to trade it off, I end up taking. I can also castle short now. I don't think I want to castle short right now. I might not castle at all this game. I don't know. Okay, what is that doing? I think that is the idea of putting the queen there. Just does not seem unreasonable to me. I think I need to go this way with the knight. Because if I go this way and then they play here, I mean, I guess I can come back. But this knight's doing a lot. And this knight's not really... Well, I guess it's holding off this pawn push, but I don't think I care. I'm going to go here. I guess I'm hoping they don't play knight h4 and just contest that pawn. Yeah, so they did. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I guess I kind of wish I'd done the other thing with the knights. I didn't really think about that. Okay, I don't think knight F5 is a good idea at the moment. But I am wondering if I play G6 first and then play knight F5. Then when they take, I don't know what pawn I'm taking with though. But yeah, I'm gonna go here. This looks like it really kind of closes things down a bit. Both of our bishops look kind of bad, which is pretty interesting. I think I would be happy to trade this bishop for either of these rooks. So did I call those rooks? Those are knights. Those are not rooks. Okay, so this knight is going here. Okay. Interesting. Do I want to go here? Threatening that. The queen is currently covering it. And also if I go here, they can immediately push that pawn. So probably that's not that great. Ah, going here and putting a pawn here does restrict that knight. If he goes here, where else? Okay, if I were to go check and they block, doesn't look like I gain anything. I really would like my queen there. Yeah, I think I should have gone that way. I'm gonna go here. I don't know if this is a good or bad idea. It's probably not a great idea. It allows them to more easily push this pawn if I take this way. In fact, yeah, if they go here, here, that, I think I would just castle. Yeah, the king side looks pretty safe for me, whereas the king side looks not super safe for my opponent. Okay, I like this a lot. So now I get to go takes. Now this knight can jump into there. Their knight will probably end up here, but that square... Oh, actually, then they get to get in here. This is now... Oh, so interesting. So like here, if they did something and I got to take, then I would to come in here. If I take here now, takes here, they just come back. Okay, I'm going to take here, and we're going to go like that, and like this, and we're going to try to make something happen in this position. Okay, do I need to castle first? Because they could go here. Because then here is kind of annoying. But if he goes here, I could go here, there, castle long. Ah, but not if I put my knight there. Oh, but knight here, here, knight there. Okay, so that works. I think they're going here, though. There, with ideas of either of these squares. So it looks like their knight may end up better than ours, which is annoying. I will certainly try to trade it off for my bishop. That is a difference. They cannot trade my knight for their bishop from this square, though if I try to jump in here, they can. So if they do here, check. Fascinating stuff possibly there. Boy, really low on time. I'm both happy with myself that 19 minutes in, I've used quite a bit of time. I've thought carefully about my calculation, but it is a rapid game, and I am concerned that I don't have enough time. Something I'm really wrestling with these rapid games is how deep can I go? Okay, so they're just kind of messing around here. I don't know what that does. I don't see why I wouldn't just jump in here. This looks quite strong. Now I have a really well placed knight, and what's happening with the rest of the pieces? That's the question. I wonder if... Oh, okay. It's an interesting idea. When they go here, here, I can't go there. So I think I should move this bishop and get ready to castle long, but I can go here first. Threatening that rook. Yeah, where's it going? It can only go... No, it can go to either spot. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move up. This is what I've been wanting to do anyway. I've got the pressure on the rook. I think I got a plan here. I think my plan is to go here. I assume they're going to block. I take. After they take, my knight can jump in here and be uncontested. That knight looks just impossible to deal with. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna go here. This guy's just been in the way. Like every move, I'm like, okay, I wanted to castle there, now I can't. I can't castle there. This darn bishop is always in the way. Let's trade it off, and then bam, we'll stick this knight right here, threatening just endless problems. Like, I don't see anything immediate with that knight, but dang, that's a strong looking knight. Like, just you just look at that knight and you're like, that's power. That is unbridled power right there. The king only has one escape square just because of our knight. Now, there's a problem. This knight can go here or here. I'm considering castling long. Knight goes here. King moves over. I don't know. The king just looks so safe if I castle short. But then here. Okay, how do I take advantage of this? What if I go here? I'm threatening that. If I go here, I go here, check. They block. Oh, I could actually go there. Okay, I think I like this idea. I do have this in the meantime. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm going here. And I'll give up this pawn because this attack is very strong. Okay, let's see how this shakes out. But I don't think I need to castle. I think just moving my king up a square is going to be quite strong in this position that we've got. Okay, there's one thing that worries me. And that is, if they're able to have time to get this, this, and this, I don't like that. That might be worth an exchange. I didn't see that sort of last piece of the movement. So we'll have to see if that's a problem. But if they take like b7, I don't know, rook b8 looks pretty reasonable. And then bam, I've got another piece attacking. I don't know where this king is going. It can't castle at all. It suddenly looks very vulnerable. My knight just looks unstoppable and full on beast mode. Yeah, I was gonna say like rook c1 maybe is decent. I don't know. Do they really want to just let me go? You know, queen a2, take the pawn. Okay, that was to be expected. We're going here, and I'm saying go for it, man. Take the pawn. Can't really take the pawn because this check I think is too strong. Or is it? Or did they just go move? No. Move there. Take. Here. King moves. Trade queens. I get 2 pawns for that. I don't know. It's tough to figure out. I'd rather not trade all the material. I think my advantage here is like that knight feels better than a rook. I'm just going to say that. It feels better than a rook if I can find a way to use it well. That part seems hard. I also have queen b4 check, which covers that pawn. I feel like they would have to play queen d2 to block it. Then it could go... Okay, so they're going that route. So I can still check. they block with the queen. Then what? If I take and they take, I don't really have anything from that. I can take the pawn. Let's see. Queen b4 check, they block. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure queen a2 is worth anything either. I think I'm going to play rook b8. And the idea is to press b5 and get another, not just one piece, but maybe both of the rooks into the action. I think that's the way to go. Okay, thought they might do that. Protecting their beloved pawn. Could play queen a3, hitting the rook. Yeah, I think I like that. It buys me that move. It doesn't move my queen too far away. I still have options to play queen b4 check. After I play b5, might have some stuff. The problem with b5 is not quite as strong now because the b file is not going to come open. So it's like they take, I take, their rook is on my b pawn. So does this work at all, actually? b5 takes with the pawn. They take, oh, they can't take with the rook. I'm covering it still. Okay, let's do it. Let's break this thing open. Can't put my rook on c8 either. That knight is very annoying. And I have not gotten much out of my knight. Like, that knight was supposed to be, like, a game-winning piece. And instead, it just hasn't done that much. Which is a little bit frustrating. And in fact, like, rook c7 looks very annoying. Probably I'm going to need to move my king over. Ah, and they're evacuating their king, so that's probably smart. How do I do this? How do I do this? Do I give up my beloved knight here? I might have to. I'm also tempted to play rook c8 and tempt them to make this trade. Ugh, it felt like I should have so much from this position. I just haven't gotten much. Alright, I feel like I'm worse now. As amazing as that sounds, I feel like I'm worse. Because this pawn now is very weak. Yeah, and then they're just piling on it. Okay. Yeah, they can get a third piece on it very easily. I could go here. Doesn't gain me that much. I think I'd rather go here. Put another piece on it for the moment. So takes. But they can go queen here. The nice thing, though, is after knight takes, rook takes, queen takes, I can go there, check. And I also pick up this pawn. My phone going crazy again. What's happening? Every time during a chess match. Oh, okay. Alrighty. So, what are we doing? We've got our knight h4 move. I do feel like just queen c2 is good. Oh, interesting. That's a very surprising move. Okay. I think I'm just going to take this pawn. Ah, I guess there's a problem. If I take this pawn, and then they just go here, and then I come back, well, all I've done is open my pawn up to attack. I'm actually looking at maybe pushing through here. Takes. And they, wait, here, there. And they just win a pawn. Ooh, but I could put my rook there. Then they put their rook there. Then I take this pawn. I can't move their rook. Wow, fascinating stuff. We're almost out of time. My cursory calculation says I can do this. I admit, though, I only have 1:59. I couldn't go. I would have spent another 5 minutes on that. I think it works. The problem is I didn't have a chance to look at every variation. So maybe there's some cool intermezzo move that I've totally missed. But I'm looking at is something like either one of these pawns takes, I take, they take. This pawn isn't here, so this rook can go here, winning the queen. So they have to go there. After they do that, I can take the other pawn here. Now this rook is being hit several times. They can't take this way because they would lose the queen with check. Now, is there something with like knight g8 check, moving my king? Maybe. That I'm not 100% sure on. Okay. This is the idea. We're going here. And then if we go here, they have this check, which we would take. Yes, I'm going to go here. I imagine this is the move. Then if we go here. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, did we just lose? Did we just lose? I believe the answer is yes. We just lost. Quick calculations, not always my best thing. That's too bad. Yeah, we just lost. Okay, we do have a lot of pressure. There's a chance, like these two moves. It's a shame we can't make them with our queen. Yeah, that's really unfortunate that went down like that. I was pretty happy for about a second there. All right, I'm gonna go here with the idea of being able to check here. We've got the knight. I don't know. Maybe there's something here. But we've certainly lost. Like maybe even just that is good. I don't know if I'm gonna take it just to trade. I don't really know what happened there. I don't know how I hung that rook. That was very upsetting. I thought I had played such a cool series of moves there. I did not calculate that last rook move at all. I just made it because that's what I was planning to do. Ruh-roh. Now we're checked. Things are falling apart fast now. I kind of feel like this is the way to go, is to hide back here. If I had come out this way, then there's that check. Oh, that's just mate. What am I even doing? Wow. Jeez. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's mate. Oh, boy. What a foolish fool I can be. That's still mate. Yeah. That was an embarrassing last, like, 5 moves. I feel like I was doing great, and then just hard throw at the end. Oh, my. Okay, well, let's see how this went. This is certainly a main line. The main line here apparently is knight c6. I did not know that. Okay, so I need to decide for myself which line I want to play. This, the engine says, is equal this idea. The openings database has a big advantage for white here. But this move is weird. Okay, so e6 feels reasonable. These all just kind of feel like reasonable moves. I don't know. What does the engine think about a6? Unnecessary? Ooh, the engine says a6 is the best move. That's interesting. All right. The engine likes taking here. The engine says I'm crushing after this take. That's so funny. Because I stopped here with my calculation and went, wow, I'm bringing their knight into the game, which is terrible. And the engine's like, well, wouldn't you just follow up with b5, kick the knight? It does seem like the knight could maybe go here, hitting my bishop. So what is the engine's answer to that? The engine's answer is, well, we would just preserve the bishop. Then we have this coming if we want. We are even in material. I don't know. I see that we got some tempo in there. I kind of like my idea of d4. Okay, let's see. I do want to see what the engine says about trading or not trading. And the engine agrees with me. Trading is not the best option. And that now we have a decent piece. Ooh, engine likes h6, but says this is fine. And the engine agrees with me that I'm doing very well here. I felt like I was, I don't know if winning is a very strong word, but ahead for sure. The engine agrees. The engine does not like this move. So the engine likes a couple different ideas. A lot of them have to do with breaking up the pawns or just castling long. I very seriously considered h5 in a number of spots. I didn't really talk about it, but that was constantly going through my mind. It reminds me a lot of like a Roy Lopez kind of thing where you're playing a4 and the Roy Lopez at the exact right moment to kind of disrupt everything. And I definitely considered it. So yeah, engine does think I'm doing fine here. And yeah, the engine thinks I should go with the other knight, which I think we saw during the game it made sense to go with the other knight. Oops, and then if white goes here, you know, certainly a possibility is to go there. Okay. Oops, that's not what happened. But the other knight there. And the engine says we're still doing great. Oh, and it says we win. We win. There's a move that wins. And I believe I looked at this move. I thought that this did not win. I thought, like, this is cool. I'm attacking both of these. I remember drawing these two arrows, and I was like, I mean, so what? Like, they can defend it in plenty of ways, so they just move here. Then what? I can't do either of these. Next move they play is a3, and all I've done is wasted some time. But they say that this knight is hanging. Hello, the knight is hanging. So if I go here, yeah, I'm attacking a lot of things. So I could go here to defend both of those squares and still defend this knight. Then we can stick our knight in here, and now, jeez, does this look good. If they try to push the knight away, then we're in here, and I mean, this looks bonkers. So I think the problem there was I did a very surface level calculation. And in my head, I just kind of went here. They cover the square. They play a3. I have to move. Like, that's a very story, narrative-driven idea without then backing it up with a precise moves of, well, let's stop for a second. What's the exact move they play here? Oh, right. They can't move the queen over. It's doing a job. So they have to move the king. And what if they move the king? Well, what if we put our knight in here? Oh, right. Now it's protecting this square. Now both knights can be in there. Like, I didn't have the precise moves to back up that loose narrative that I was doing. Okay. Was the engine like coming back? No. The engine says, why aren't we going up and doing the thing? Attack all of the things. And then we can bust this open and maybe have an attack. Right, I didn't do that. I played pretty passively. And the engine still says I'm crushing. But I'm just crushing this game. I'm up 2. The engine doesn't like that. The engine says, I think this is what the engine is saying here. Their bishop is horrific. Yes, our bishop also isn't great. But it's better at least. It's attacking things. I mean, now we have like all of this slicing happening. Maybe we can break the pawns up somehow and do something. But by trading the bishops off, all we've done is, remember, I knew they wanted to bring the knight to the square. So all I did, oh, okay, now I'm seeing even more. By going here, we forced their bishop to go to the square the knight wants to go to. So we've kind of gained a little bit of time. We've essentially played our bishop here for free by making their knight go to a worse square. But then by taking, we've forced them to put their knight on the square it had to go on. And then they're like, well, I guess I'll take the natural evolution, just putting my knight on the best square. And suddenly now, a couple moves later, already it's like, ooh, remember that big lead you had? I mean, it's gone. Now it's equal. You both have good knights. The rest of the pieces are kind of struggling. You cannot claim any sort of advantage here. Ah, I guess I should have taken there. Okay. This is what I calculated. I take. They take. I did not love where we were at here. I thought this might fall. I've given up a lot. And here's the thing. The engine says this is -5. That this is just completely lost. Reason number 1 is we can go here beyond the B file if they take the pawn. We take here. We are on the queen. We are threatening attacks on the king. Like, this clearly is very, very strong. So essentially this is the same problem. It's a little different problem than earlier. Earlier I did calculate specific moves, but I calculated takes, and I was like, this is where I started getting gray, right? I didn't go like, what if I go here and they take? I just saw like, oh, they're going to take here. But I didn't say, well, what if I go here? And then I go here, and I think then I would have immediately saw it. So I think this game is really showing me a problem I know I have, which is that doing surface level calculation, but then again, I only had 4 minutes. And so it's like balancing these two factors. All right, and now, once again, I've given up anything I can consider a lead. And here I'm curious. Yeah, it's essentially even. I'm making fine moves. I should be fine at a minimum. Engine really doesn't like this move. Says it would have been fully even. Also doesn't really like that move. And now the engine loves what I'm doing here. I'm -3 again. I'm crushing. I bring the rook down to my -7. The game is over. All I have to do is go here. Check. They take. This is a check. When they move, this is hanging. Ball game. But, recurring theme, I didn't calculate this well. I got to here, and then I quickly did in my head like, oh, right. I'll just go here, and then they can't play here because they would lose, so they'll have to go here. Very surface level calculation. I was low on time, and bam, the game is now over. So I went from -8, clear victory, 1 move, +5. One singular, horrible move, and I have lost. Oh, chess. Why? And then here, we're just dead. Also, if I'd gone the other way, I was dead. It wasn't like this was a game-losing mistake. If I go here, it is -6. Because they could just come back to the square that I had already identified as a winning move. So, big takeaway, and this is just common in all of my games, is I just have to get better at not just identifying important moves and themes and motifs and stories, but really doing the hard work of calculating the exact concrete moves on top of that. I think those stories are important. I think they do help me have a better understanding of the position. But it is the moves that win and lose in chess. All right. So I'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody.